Hi everyone, welcome back. Hope everyone is doing well. On today's new show extravaganza, we have Trump. Boo! No, relax. We'll make fun of him. Relax. So Cheeto Benito has been going ballistic in full unstable baby mode since Kamala Harris started running away with it, and it is our solemn duty to cover this magnificent idiot. We've got a double feature here. First, a campaign rally, then another campaign rally the very next day, but this one performed in front of a hostage press corps for the combined length of a modern day feature film. You know, I gotta say it's true what Megyn Kelly said recently. The guy, and I've been watching him since 2016, just didn't used to ramble so fucking much. Don't get me wrong, he rambled, but I think the rambling now has been dialed up by at least 15%. And at this point, it's so draining. He can't deliver a message because there's 50 fucking messages in there, half of them completely fucking pointless. And it seems someone else happens to have noticed. Best thing about this, there's literally nothing anyone can do to fix this. So without further ado, the rally.
Well, this is a very frisky group, I have to say. Lara. Now they're putting her on the covers of Time magazine with an artist sketch. They don't use a picture. They use an artist sketch. I want to use that artist. I want to find that artist. I like him very much.
Classic Trump, first hit on looks.
Now, this is a little bit different day because this isn't around. We're talking about a thing called the economy. They wanted to do a speech on the economy. A lot of people are very devastated by what's happened with inflation and all of the other things. So we're doing this as a intellectual speech. You're all intellectuals today. Today we're doing it, and we're doing it right now.
Are we though? Are we doing it right now? It seems we're stalling. Come on, Donny boy, you can do intellectual.
And it's very important. They say it's the most important subject. I think crime is right there. I think the border is right there, personally.
I want to talk about crime. Fuck those numbers. They are for nerds. What about the illegals? Killing people with Hannibal Lecter. A perfect zero at sticking on message. So far, so good.
Vote Trump and your incomes will soar. Your savings will grow. Young people will be able to afford a home.
Gas stations will pay you for gasoline. Rainbows will sprout out of your assholes. Your teeth will glow and your penis will grow. Thank you.
And this isn't rally, but this is a different kind of a thing. Today we're going to talk about one subject, and then we'll start going back to the other because we sort of love that, don't we? But it's an important, they say it's the most important subject. I'm not sure it is, but they say it's the most important.
Okay, we get it. We're not really vibing with the intellectual dissertation on the economics of the 21st century stuff. I get it. Just go with what you're comfortable with, Donny.
He wants tampons in boys' bathrooms. I don't think so.
Whoa, yeah, that feels like the level we're dealing with here. Let's call it the stable genius level.
That's the laugh of a crazy person, I will tell you. If you haven't known it, she's crazy.
Another very intellectual argument. You can tell this is the intellectual speech.
And now the bombs are starting to drop in the Middle East. You see what's going on there, right? That would have never happened. Israel would have never happened. Ukraine would have never happened with Russia.
Again, this is the economy speech. The guy isn't just rambling. He's probably rambling more than anyone has ever rambled before.
Kamala Harris won't end the economic crisis. She will only make it worse. And why hasn't she done it? She talks about it. She's doing a plan. You know, she's going to announce it this week, maybe. She's waiting for me to announce it so she can copy it.
Now, to be fair, because we are nothing but fair people, he's talking about the no tax on tips, which Kamala does appear to have copied from him. But it's not like he won't be copying her.
We're not going to let this incompetent socialist lunatic keep breaking our economy for 4 more years. It'll destroy our country. On Election Day, we're going to tell her that we've had enough. that we can't take it anymore, Kamala. You're doing a horrible job. You were a terrible attorney general. You were a terrible district attorney. You're the worst vice president in history. Kamala, you're fired. Get out of here. Go. Get out of here. Right? Get out. Boom.
Wow. No comment.
She refuses to do any interviews or press conferences. Almost 30 days now. She hasn't done an interview. You know why she hasn't done an interview? Because she's not smart. She's not intelligent. We had a great chat for 2.5 hours. 2.5 hours being grilled by Elon.
Wow, that's what he considers getting grilled by someone. Literally someone spit shining his fucking boots, and he calls it a grilling. Look, if I was Trump, I wouldn't go too hard on Kamala on this. I mean, the last time Trump faced an antagonistic reporter, he didn't exactly ace it.
This is a very peaceful protest, and the whole city is burning down behind him. You ever see anything? As far as the eye could see, the whole thing looked like World War II. Speaking of World War III.
No, Donnie, you weren't speaking about World War III. You were speaking about World War II. Sorry to be that guy.
Think of what happened. We had the best border. You know my all-time favorite graph, right? That is my all-time favorite graph, not only because it shows the best border, but for another reason. I tell you what, I'm glad I looked around to look at it. I go, wow, pew.
I think it's confirmed he's never going to stop talking about this.
On my first day back in the Oval Office, I will sign an executive order directing every cabinet secretary and agency head to use every tool and authority at their disposal to defeat inflation and to bring consumer prices rapidly down. We'll do it very rapidly.
That sounds very fucking vague. So how are the agencies going to do that, Donnie? No, they'll just do it? Okay.
When you look at the costs of groceries, the cost of bacon, where it went up 4 and 5 times. Bacon. I don't order bacon anymore. It's too expensive.
Ladies and gents, introducing the world's poorest billionaire who doesn't order bacon anymore because it's too expensive. As Jack says, give me a break, man.
But that's what happened. This is inflation. This is tic-tac. This is tic-tac. This is inflation. This is what's happened.
Okay, this has to be the intellectual part.
We will drill, baby, drill. We're going to bring energy prices down. And just so you know, they stopped it, and it was terrible what they did. That's what caused the whole problem in the country, even with supply chains. I mean, it just caused a problem. And then they said, oh, go back to the Trump plan now. Now they're drilling. But the day after the election, if they win...
Far be it from me to get all analytical on your ass, Donnie, but I've noticed you make this argument before, and I have to ask. If Biden is drilling right now as much as you were, then why haven't prices gone down? Forget about what he's going to do in the future. I'm talking now, Donnie. Nothing you say makes sense, Donnie.
Under Kamala's extreme high-cost energy policy known as net zero, you know what net zero, they have no idea what it means, by the way. It's net zero. What does that mean? Nobody knows. Ask her what it means. We're going to go to a net zero policy. What does that mean?
Nobody knows. Net zero. How can a net be a zero?
We intend to slash prices by half within 12 months at a maximum 18 months. And if it doesn't work out, you'll say, oh, well, I voted for him. I still got him down a lot, but we're looking to do it. We're looking to cut him in half, and we think we'll be able to do better. And every single thing that I promised, I produced. Every single thing.
As you all remember, my most famous pledges, I was gonna lock you up, and I was gonna build the wall and make Mexico pay for it. Nobody believed I could do it, and yet, what's that? I didn't do anything. Whatever, I'm the best.
As you will under a certain gentleman known as Donald J. Trump. Have you heard of him?
Never heard of him.
You know, energy is such a big topic, such a big cost, so powerful, so big, that if you have a donut shop, you have the ovens, you have a truck that delivers the donuts, if you have whatever you do, your heating, your cooling, everything is about that. That's where they really blew it. They blew it with too much borrowing. They blew it with wasting $9 and $10 trillion on The scam, the great scam in history. There are a lot of scams that they worked on. Where's the laptop from hell? Is it around by any chance?
Wait, are you saying they wasted $10 trillion on Hunter Biden's fucking laptop? Wow. By the way, notice how he will never tell you what the Democrats actually wasted the money on, because if he does, even his supporters might like that. He's talking about the American Rescue Plan, very elitist, childless cat lady things, like the temporary doubling of child tax credits that halve child poverty, or the free checks they cut to people when they couldn't go to work. It wasn't price gouging corporations riding the inflationary cost wave by hiking their prices double what it was now costing them and raking in the fucking billions. No, it was the people who for once in their fucking lives got some help from their government, an institution, let me remind you, that is supposed to fucking represent them. That's how Trump thinks, but cannot say that Democrats ruined the economy. Such a fucking populist.
Speaking of that just for a second, so Venezuela crime is down 72%. Because they're taking all of their criminals out of Caracas, out of the different places. Their mental institutions are literally closing up.
Why does this idiot keep conflating criminals with the seriously mentally ill? Is that one of his deeply held beliefs that all criminals are undiagnosed schizophrenics? Is that the new meta? And a reminder once again that this is the economy speech.
All over the world, crime is down because they're taking their criminals and their people from mental institutions and they're putting them into our country because we have stupid people like Kamala and Joe running our country, and there's never been anything like this.
Yeah, sure, Chief. That definitely doesn't sound like something that would come out of the mouth of a person in an insane asylum. Definitely, for sure.
Out of the top 25, as an example, crime-ridden cities, virtually every single one of them is run by Democrats. Think of that.
Lol, most fucking cities are run by Democrats.
With me, you will always have a president who tells it like it is. You will always have somebody where I let you know where I stand, and you can vote for me or not, but you need that, and you need consistency, and you need brilliance. You need brilliance. She is not a brilliant person. She is not a smart person. She is not very smart. And this has been talked about for a long time. She'll probably announce this on Friday, too. Oh, look, they have a spy in the audience right over there. He's spying. Let's see, Kamala, I think we should do no tax on Social Security.
Donald, sorry, sir, you do know that this is broadcasting live to anyone who wants to watch it, right? Kamala, the unsmart one, doesn't really need to send a spy 5 feet away from you to listen in now, does she? Does she, oh brilliant one? He then proceeds to dial up the fear-mongering about illegal immigrants to a fucking billion. It's honestly beyond disgusting the amount of vileness he spews about one of the most desperate classes of people on the face of this planet. We're not covering that. Let's see if there is anything else on his first speech we can look at. Yes, only the first. We have another one coming right up.
These people are tough. They're tough. They're mean, they're angry, and they shouldn't be in our country, and it's not going to work out well. The migrants that Harris let in are raping our women and hurting our children, and now Kamala wants to let them pillage Social Security and Medicare. That's what's going to happen.
He's so fucking disgusting. I have to say, watching Trump do this, let's call it his thing. Personally, my emotions always alternate between amusement at his sheer buffoonery and pure disgust when he instantly switches to immigrants are raping our women. Literally medieval style hate speech. And he does it so fast you almost get whiplash. What a weird, hateful little man.
If Kamala wins, you will have mass amnesty and citizenship for all of the Biden-Harris illegals that poured into our country. If I win, you will have the largest deportation operation in American history, starting at noon on Inauguration Day, 2025.
Ladies and gents, the economy speech. Let's give it a charitable 3 out of 10.
They come up in caravans. I think I came up with that name. but they have caravans of thousands and thousands of people, many, many criminals in those caravans. Very dangerous, unbelievably dangerous for women. The women in those caravans are just absolutely, it's horrible what happens. I'm not going to tell you now. It's horrible. It's horrible what happens in those caravans coming up. It's a rough journey. This is, remember, I said it before, a person that's considered far more liberal than crazy Bernie Sanders. He's crazy, you know.
Fuck you too, Donnie. Fuck you too. Brothers and sisters, this billionaire is a piece of shit and we cannot vote for him.
The wonderful Sean Hannity actually said it. Have you ever heard of him? Yes.
Never heard of him.
Obama, President Barack Hussein Obama, have you heard of him?
Maybe, I'm not 100%.
Kamala and Joe tried to take credit for $35 insulin. You know that. You know who did that? I did that.
No, he did not.
And she was ranked number last, and she was the one that was picking. She was ranked. She was ranked below Tim. He was second, I think, second to last. And they asked the head of the Prime Minister of Hungary, very tough man, strong man, very, you know, somebody that I always got along. I get along with the strong ones. I don't get along with the weak ones. Isn't that sad? That's a personality defect.
Then, the very next day, he gathered all the press and pulled a switcheroo on them. He's done that before, forcing them to be his audience while he rambled on for 46 motherfucking minutes before he took a single question. Look, my man, Donnie boy, I'm being real with you. You need an editor. Enough. You are killing us, man. This fucking shit should qualify as a war crime under the Geneva Convention. He even brought fucking props on this hostage rally. What the fuck, Donnie? Are you really gonna verbally diarrhea your way back to the White House? We're gonna skip the whole first part and we're going straight to the questions. Any good ones?
No, I didn't encourage him. He knows what he's doing. I did encourage him to get this over with. You want to get it over with. It has to get over with fast. But have victory, get your victory, and get it over with. It has to stop. The killing has to stop. Yes, please.
That's very interesting that Trump said this. I can't speculate anymore on this because he refuses to be clear on this issue. Mostly he's very anti-Palestinian, but then he throws out shit like this, and I just can't trust this idiot on such an important issue, considering his track record recognizing Jerusalem and the Golan Heights.
They just, they were there very quickly, and they were very brave. There were mistakes made, obviously. He shouldn't have been up there. The roof should have been taken care of, and there were mistakes made. There's no question about it. But there was a lot of bravery also. We have to remember that. Okay, thank you very much.
He then gets asked about the purpose behind God saving his life. I know. And he proceeds to speak for more than 3 minutes about it without even mentioning the guy who took a bullet that was meant for him and died. Not even a fucking mention. I guess God didn't have a purpose for him.
Many of your allies who want you to win in November say your current strategy isn't working, that you need to stop with the personal attacks on Kamala Harris and deliver a more disciplined message. Do you agree? And also, you added more people to your campaign.
Yeah.
Is that a sign of a shifting strategy?
No, as far as the personal attacks, I'm very angry at her because of what she's done to the country. I'm very angry at her that she'd weaponized the justice system against me and other people. Very angry at her. I think I'm entitled to personal attacks. I don't have a lot of respect for her. I don't have a lot of respect for her intelligence, and I think she'll be a terrible president.
Okay, that sounds like something a stable genius would say and not a 7-year-old spoiled baby.
And I think it's very important that we win. And whether the personal attacks are good, bad, I mean, she certainly attacks me personally. She actually called me weird. He's weird. It was just a soundbite. And she called J.D. and I weird. He's not weird. He was a great student at Yale. He went to Ohio State, graduated in 2 years, at the top of his class, and all of these different things. And we have this guy that's running a very failed state, who's had a terrible career. I mean, you have him saying they're weird. No, he's a weird guy. And she's weird in her policy.
It really, really bothers him. And you know why? Because he's fucking weird.
And with all of like the cover of Time magazine, they didn't put a picture. They got a great artist to do with it. What was that all about? You know, what was that all about? The whole thing is crazy.
Yep, definitely not a weirdo.
With Hillary, she was subpoenaed by Congress to give everything she's got, and she burned it. She acid washed it, bleach bit they call it. She totally scrubbed it, and then they broke everything with hammers, with fire. They burned it, and then she said, "I don't have anything." Well, it turned out that she had a lot to give, and everybody said, "Lock her up, lock her up." And I used to go easy, just easy, easy. Then we won.
Don't you remember, folks, all the rallies where everyone was chanting "lock her up" and Trump, always the voice of reason, was urging them to go easy, easy. Then we won. I have never seen a more shameless liar in my life. It's like nobody told him lying was bad when he was a kid. They probably encouraged him.
Now you'll say he ranted and raved, and not you, but some of you will say he ranted and raved. I didn't rant and rave. I'm a very calm person, believe it or not. If I wasn't, I probably wouldn't be around anymore, you know. We have to unify as a country. We have to come together, and I think we can. You know, I get that question oftentimes, and I used to think maybe there's no way because, you know, some people want a border, some people don't want a border. Most people do want a border. But there's such a difference in people. And all of a sudden, I was having lunch with people that if I told you who they were, you wouldn't even believe it. Our country was coming together. The Hispanic population had the best numbers, Asian population, men, women, young people with diplomas from the best schools, Harvard, MIT, the Wharton School of Finance. They're all coming together, and everybody was happy.
Everybody was happy. Everybody was joyous. The illegals were kicked out, and the land was pure and happy.
Plan for holding China accountable if you get reelected.
Well, I want to get along with China. I had a great relationship with President Xi. We made a fantastic trade deal, $50 billion of farm products and manufacturing products they had to buy here, and they were adhering to it. They don't adhere to it anymore because they don't respect Harris or Biden. But as you know, we signed a trade deal with China, and it was actually better than even the USMCA. It was a great trade deal. China.
Oh, I'm glad you mentioned the USMCA, Donald. That's the trade deal that Donald signed with Mexico. So Republicans, whenever this fuckhead mentions how all the factories are in Mexico and Mexico is stealing all your jobs, well, now you know who to blame for that. 'Cause he did Crooked Joe.
But no, Elon wants to run an efficient company, and if he has to he got rid of a lot of people on X or former Twitter. A lot of people gone, and it still works. It still works.
Yeah, sure it does.
Where he's the one that signed in tampons in boys' bathrooms. He signed a bill that boys' bathrooms, all boys' bathrooms in Minnesota will have tampons.
I think we've had enough of this week's insane word salad. It's not looking great for Tony Boy at the moment. He's shaking up his campaign and being an all-around angry weirdo. Do we have any other news before we switch off? Well, we've got confirmation for 3 debates coming up. One already confirmed on the 10th of September on ABC between Kamala and Trump. One on the 1st of October between the VPs, highly anticipated. And another one between Kamala and Trump. We still haven't got the exact date on. So that's all for now, folks. See you soon. Bye-bye.